I've got a problem. Well, my wife would tell you I've got a few problems, but this one is related to my addiction for quality woodworking tools. Or I suppose really more of a frustration for tools that aren't quite there with their quality or accuracy or finesse. Now, for example, I've got a Bosch table saw, and on that table saw, it's got non-standard mitre tracks. They have, well, this is the, you know, mitre fence, I suppose you'd call this. And this track here is non-standard. So if I want to put anything in there, I have to use this. Now, this locks down into the sliding portion of the table to the left of the blade, which is a bit of a gimmick for me because there's too much play in it. If I lock this down into there using this knob, then this moves, and that means I can't rely on it to be accurate. So I can't use this, and I can't use the sliding portion of the table, so it's pointless and very frustrating. You also can't use other, mitre gauges in this table. It's so close to being a great table saw, but a few things just miss the mark. Now, I also purchased this a long time ago, the Woodpecker's 1281. Now, it's a great right-angled square, almost perfect. It has one major problem for me. The thickness of this here puts those numbers too far away from the work surface, meaning that they're just sort of a token gesture. You can't be accurate with them. And that to me is frustrating. Now, I think woodpeckers know this because they've produced a precision mitre square with a thinner stainless steel right angle to it that's laser engraved and puts the markings much closer to the surface and has the holes within it for marking along. And that looks like a great piece of kit. But, $159, it's a lot of money. And, I've sat many times hovering over that buy now button, thinking about purchasing that, sorry. And I've kind of just never quite pushed the button on it because it's hard to justify sometimes. As much as I do like seeing the woodpecker tools in the background in people's YouTube videos, but yeah, I can't justify that. So when the chaps at Woodworkers Workshop reached out to me and offered me to review a couple of tools, I was super excited because I know this brand. I have a couple of their products already, and the quality has always been exceptional. So I'm not expecting anything less from these. But let's take a look. I'll show you what I've got. I've got the stainless steel square, precision square, which I'm super excited to look at, try out. And I've got the stainless steel precision ruler. We'll have a look at those in a second. I'll be using these in future products, so this is just a first impressions video. I'll be making a mitre saw station and you'll see them using that, and I'll also be making a cart that will house a new table saw. I won't spoil what that's going to be, and it will have a router table built into it with a whole section that folds up, but that'll be worth dropping a subscribe for. Okay, so the first thing to say is I mentioned the pricing earlier. Now, this is 1/3 cheaper than the equivalent woodpecker version. Now, when you look at the quality, just sort of bear that in mind. It's a third cheaper. Right, okay, let's start with the ruler, shall we? Now, I have had a sneak peek, in all honesty, so I know what's in here. Okay, so it's a quality assurance card, QC passed. So just reinforcing the fact that each one is inspected, I assume. We'll take that out of the way. So it comes in this NDF, I suppose, holder, depending whether you'd want to keep it in that or not. I don't know. For this, I don't think I will. Let's have a look in here next. Okay. So similar setup, quality QC passed card. And these look like cable ties. So I don't scratch this, I'm just going to turn that over. Take them from this side. Get rid of those. And I think for now, we'll just move the cardboard. Okay, well, I tell you what, we'll start with a ruler. Now, it doesn't just drop out, it's you can see it's a narrow sort of T-slot, exaggerated T-slot. It just slides out. So yeah, you could use that to store it. Okay, I don't know how well you can see this with the light in here for the videoing, but it's laser etched, and I think it says something about engraved and laser etched for longevity, made of 301 hardened steel. So yeah, first impressions. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, first impressions. It's a nice weight to it. It's not too thick. It's nice and thin. Now these have a slight raised texture to them based on how they've been lasered, and it makes it feel like slightly like sandpaper, I suppose. And it puts when you put a tiny bit of pressure on there, it grips the ruler to the wood. Now I'm just going to grab another ruler just to show you the difference. So we'll put this on here, 2 fingers, it slides across the wood. Now I've had it where I'm going to mark a line, not with that lead. I'm going to mark a line and the ruler's slipped as I'm marking it. Whereas with this one, just holding it there, it's moving the wood, but it's not going to move the ruler. I'm not applying a lot of pressure. I mean, literally, you can see that's just grabbing the wood. Now, 300 mil, very clear markings, made in Canada, JessEm logo. I think it's mirror on both sides. I like that the markings go exactly to the edge like that. And it's very close to the material, so it's easy to be accurate. Yeah, there's not a lot more to say about that. It's a decent ruler. First impressions are great. I think I mentioned I'm running a few projects coming up, and you'll see these used a lot in that. So I'll give you, if my opinion changes, I'll let you know in those videos. Okay, let's take a look at this. So it comes in a CNC MDF, again similar to the ruler. Oh, this one has a magnet, so it holds it. So obviously it holds it at 90 degrees, no problem, you would expect. I mean, that's right over at 45 degrees, if not more. It's not falling out. I won't go any more than that. I'm sure if I turned it upside down and shook it, it would. What's nice about this is on the woodpecker one, it has a plastic semicircle that sort of overlaps, and you can turn it to release it. So you have to turn it, then grab it. Whereas this, you can just grab it and you're gone. So that's nice. I'll move it out of the way. That's if you want to use the MDF as a holder for it. So let's have a look then. Okay, what's it got? It's black anodized aluminium, I think. Now, I believe these bolts, so if this took a hard knock and came out a square, you can adjust it back if you need to. This is a sprung tab, available from both sides. That's got a nice action to it, and there's no wiggle or no play to it in there. That's great. Again, similar to the ruler, laser etched, really clear to read. I'll take that up so you can have a good look at that. It's got similar laser etching there. It starts at 0 here. There's a nice little indent there for the pencil to get to the edge of the wood. I like that. And it's 160 mil here and 200 mil here. With the tab, it bounces on. Without the tab, you get that inside piece. Nice flush flat surface. I like that. I think when I see the woodpecker one, it has like a bit of metal sticking out here to get this square, but that gives you a very thin edge. I like this flat surface for the inside of things. So that for me is a win. You might prefer something different. I'm going to just pop the tab out when you want it. It's on there. It's not slipping anywhere. Just check it for square, both sides. Yeah, parallel lines. I'll zoom you in. Put the pencil for focus there. I'm sure you can see that. Come back out. So one of the features of this is those little, I'll just try and get this in focus, those little indents, those little holes, sorry, here. At one end, they have a little V shape to them, and that is to allow you to put your pencil in, depending on the size of your pencil. This is a 0.5mm lead. If you had just a normal pencil, you could drop that in and it would center into the point because of the shape of those holes. So if I want to go at 10 or 100mm, 10 centimeters, and I want to draw a line, then I can go over to the other side and go into the 1. Then I'll be 10.1, drop to the other side, 10.2. Oh, what have I done there? Sorry, slipped out, sorry. My bad. Let's start on the 9. 9.1, 9.2, 9.3. I mean, no one's doing that really, but very equally distant. Here again, I'll zoom in. Very nice. Yeah, so, I mean, what more is there to say? Both beautiful tools, well made. There's no obvious niggles for me. They just seem great. Now, you can get these over at Woodworkers Workshop. Like I say, these were given to me to review. I will let you know in future videos if I have any issues with them, but I just not see. I can't see it myself. Yeah, so a beautiful set of tools. Thank you very much, guys at Woodworkers Workshop. Please do me a favor, go over there and check out their selection. They do a lot of good work bringing tools to the UK from the US and other locations, stuff that you just wouldn't be able to get here otherwise, or without paying really heavy import duty. So go and give them some love. Give me some love by dropping a comment and a like. It helps the channel out, and most of all, give us a subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel. Let's see if we can hit over 25,000 by Christmas, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Take care.